One of the best features of Adobe Experience Design is its repeat grid. Hello everyone, welcome to another UI Inspirations tutorial. Today we're going to learn how to make our artboard scrollable with the help of the repeat grid, and how we can use that repeat grid and take advantage of it to make very good interactive designs. Without further ado, let's just get started with the video. So here I have the design that I created in one of the previous videos. This one is the Facebook grid design for material design, and this is the one that I'm going to be using to showcase this idea of scrolling. So the first thing worth pointing out is that so far Adobe Experience Design does not support pinning elements, so they don't scroll with the rest of the interface. So for example, if I wanted to make this main page scrollable, it would actually scroll along with this entire main section, along with this floating action button, and even along this navigation bar of Android. So still, we can make our prototype more interactive if we make it scrollable. And to do that, I'm going to be using this main page, and I'm actually going to be getting rid of this navigation bar of Android, and I'm going to be using this element that is already grouped together as a repeat grid. So I actually have 3 of these elements, so 3 posts inside of this Facebook app. And once I have these 3 posts, I'm going to narrow this to only 10 pixels, the spacing between these elements, and now I can actually select the entire page so it is taller than a normal page. And I'm going to make this a little bit taller than the repeat grid that I have in here, just a tad taller, maybe 10 pixels, and now it is taller than what the screen can actually show. So to be able to make this scrollable, you have to make sure that the height that is set in this section, the viewport height, is set to 640, at least in the case of Android. In the case of other artboards, you will have to make sure that it's the same original height. So you can see that this artboard is now 1400 pixels high, but is only going to be showing 640 pixels at a time. So you can make sure by selecting another artboard. For example, this is another Android artboard, which is the default height, and the height indeed is 640, which is the exact same height that I have set for the viewport in here. So now when I run this design, we can see that it's still 640 pixels, the only thing being shown, but now it is scrollable and we can see the rest of the artboard. But again, the scrolling is happening as well to the main section and the floating action button. Hopefully, Adobe, if you're listening, you will allow us to pin certain elements so they don't scroll along with the entire design. Additionally, of course, as any repeat grid, you can change the elements that are being displayed in each of these ones that we are listing. So for example, for this second one, maybe it's not a post by Emmanuel Macron, but a post by Joanne Rowling. So we can actually change some image in here. Let me just set this image in here from one post from Simon Sinek. So actually let's just change this to J.K. Rowling like this. And I'm also going to change the text, and I will have to accommodate this a bit better. Maybe change the date. And as you can see, every time I make some changes in here, it's only being changed in one of the elements. This is still Emmanuel Macron, and if I go over here, I can change this to Simon Sinek, and I can change the text in here, and just like I did before, make this look a little bit better. And then of course change the images that are being displayed in here, and I can just as easily just drag them from anywhere on my Finder. As you could see, I actually did that from my desktop previously, so I will drag these couple of images into here now and make some changes here and there. For example, let's add a number in here, a number over here as well, and change the date in here to be May 5th at 10 a.m. M or something like that. As you can see, it is only changed in one of them. But there is something else that we have to do here. As you can see, this image is actually quite long, so look at what happens when I do this. The image is longer and longer, but if I change this image, the other images change with it. And that is not what I want. So let me just Control C in here so I can head back. And what I can do to make each of these a little bit different is to select this and ungroup the grid. So now each and every one of these elements are individual elements, independent elements. I didn't need to copy and paste this. I used the repeat grid, but since I have ungrouped them, they are now independent. So I can now go ahead and resize this one to the correct aspect ratio of the image. And I can also select all of these elements in here so they adapt to the new size of the image and move them a little bit to the top. And of course I will have to resize the background rectangle like this. And so I can move this a little bit to the top, and I can hold down the Shift key so I don't move it around. I just, up and down, but no left and right. So let me just get this a little bit like 10 pixels from the previous one. And now because this is independent, I can now make this image very wide like this. And again, modify where these elements are located so they adapt to the new aspect ratio of the image. So let me drag this to the top in here. And finally, this element, let me make this a little bit smaller. And so I can adapt the size of the artboard as well, like so. And this is still scrollable, but now it looks a little bit more unique because there are now 3 different posts from 3 different people instead of the same exact post. So there you have it. We have already learned how to make our artboards scrollable, as well as how to make a repeat grid unique. Of course, all of this and way more is covered in greater depth in my Adobe Experience Design course, which is linked down below. Also, don't forget to like and share this video and comment down below what you would like to learn next week. Remember that every single Tuesday we're going to be learning something new, and every Friday I'm going to be uploading a speed art of a redesign of a famous app. Remember, you decide what we'll learn next week. See you in the next video.